Hey guys, this is Narcissistic Awareness, and in this video, I wanted to ask the question, do narcissists have friends? Now, just to give you a short answer, I would say they can, but more often or not, they don't, okay? And the reason why is because they're really good at making friends, but horrible at keeping them, okay? Because usually somewhere in the relationship, they're going to end up doing something to ruin the friendship, okay? And obviously, they're going to try to twist things around and make it seem like it's the other person's fault. But realistically, we all know that it's the narcissist who causes it, okay? So, yeah, to give you a short answer, they can have friends, but more often or not, they don't, okay? But keep in mind, they definitely can have friends, and they can actually have friends for a really long time. I'm talking decades. They can definitely have friends. Um, but like I said, I mean, somewhere down the line, like they'll usually end up doing something to ruin the relationship because that's what they do. The thing is with narcissists is they can't be outshined, okay? They always have to be the most powerful person in their circle. So when somebody in their circle comes along who's more powerful or popular than um, the narcissist is going to have a problem with this, okay? They're going to they're going to become very jealous and resentful towards that person. And as a result, it's going to get to the point where they're going to start to compete with that person and try to find ways to wear that person down. Um, because, like I said before, in order for a narcissist to feel content with themselves, they have to be the most successful person in their circle, okay? If somebody comes along who's more popular or more powerful in some type of way, the narcissist is going to have a problem with this. And the thing is it doesn't take much for this to happen, okay? It could be something really small, like maybe the person has more money than the narcissist, or maybe the person has a better job, or it could be material items. Maybe the person has a nicer car or nicer house, or if it's a male friendship, maybe the person has like a hotter girlfriend, okay? Or if it's a female friendship, maybe the female friend has a boyfriend that the female narcissist has a crush on, okay? Um, it's usually something really petty and childish, okay? Because at the end of the day, I mean, that's what they are. I mean, they have the mentality of a 4-year-old. So, just keep in mind, it doesn't have to be much. It's something really small, okay? And also, it could be something as small as maybe the friend is more likable or more popular by most people, okay? In a situation like that, the narcissist is definitely going to get jealous. Cuz like I said before, like in order for them to be content with themselves, they have to be the most successful in their circle, okay? They have to have the most power and status among everybody else. So when somebody comes along who has more power or status than the narcissist, um, usually what's going to happen is the narcissist is going to start to compete with this person, okay? And they're always going to look for ways to one up that person and try to get the upper hand on that person. And it's going to get to the point where they're going to start to try to tear that person down and make that person feel lesser than the narcissist. okay? Because, like I said, I mean, narcissists hate to be outshined. If somebody comes along who has more shine than them, they're going to get really jealous and resentful. And a lot of the time in friendships, this is what tends to happen. Okay? So in a situation like this, the narcissist is going to start to compete with this person and try to find ways to outdo that person. And I think you guys can imagine like how this can ruin friendships, because if you have a friend in your circle who's constantly trying to compete with you and get the upper hand on you, I mean, you're only going to be able to take so much, like eventually like it's going to get to the point where you're going to get sick and tired of it. And a lot of the time like in friendships, like it gets to the point where the friend doesn't want anything to do with them. They'll just eventually they'll just stop talking to the narcissist because they'll just have enough with them. And so, this is why like narcissists have a really hard time keeping friends, because they're always in constant competition with them. They always have to be the best. They can never maintain an equal relationship with people. And, it just goes to show, like, this is why, like, narcissists have a really hard time keeping friends. Now, there are going to be situations where there might be a person who, typically an empath, who's usually a little bit more willing to put up with that stuff. In a situation like that, the person is usually going to stay around longer. Okay, because the thing with empaths is they're usually a lot more tolerant and flexible towards the narcissist's bullshit. So in a situation where the narcissist is constantly trying to get the upper hand and constantly trying to one up people, there's more of a chance that the empath is going to put up with that. And so in those types of situations, there's more of a chance that the empath is going to stay around and put up with the narcissist's bullshit. Okay, so keep in mind. I mean, there are going to be situations where the narcissist is going to have friends who are willing to put up with that. But even at that, I think eventually the narcissist is going to do something really horrible to the empath, and eventually, that's going to ruin the relationship. Because the thing with narcissists is they have no limits. They'll push limits as far as they can possibly push them until the straw breaks the camel's back. So yeah, I mean, even in a situation like that, it usually it never works in the narcissist's favor. It always goes downhill. So anyway, I hope that answers the question. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely like, comment, subscribe, do what you got to do, and I'll see you next time. Peace.